you have a little bit of perspective as I do. How disappointing was 2021? In my mind, just because of where this team was, what the expectations were, most disappointing season for the Browns since they came back in 99.
You know what? Since they've come back in 99, 100%. In fact, I'm even going to take it further and say perhaps one of the top 5 most disappointing seasons. Sure, when you go to the AFC Championship game and you have, Red Right 88, the fumble or the drive, I mean, that's going to mess you up too. Of course, the drive, we won't even get into those, okay, in Cleveland and not a championship game. But the bottom line is this, is that, of course, is that you got me thinking deeply, is that I had this team at 12-5. I'm usually the guy who's under the total because I know things can happen. I had no idea things would be as they were. But you know what, David? I had a harbinger of things to come because people say I'm boring, and so be it. I love being boring, okay? But I'm like Kevin Stefanski. Do you remember number 1? Kevin Stefanski warned the team, please, more than 50% of the teams do not go back to the postseason from the year before. And number 2, let's play one game at a time. Here we have Jarvis Landry, one of the leaders of the team, telling us there's a Super Bowl team in August. That rubbed me the wrong way. You don't talk about it, okay? You go out and win each game. And then the one that hit me too was after the Patriots game. That was a curb stomping. That was embarrassing. Anthony Walker comes out and says, you know what? Just got to remind you, we're a playoff team. Well, you know what? Not when you get beaten like that. So those little things add up. I really feel that there was some delusion involved, and these guys thought they just needed to show up, and we know that's wrong.
The other thing is the old saying is it's much more difficult to go from a team that's 500 or above, that fringe playoff team, to the elite level. And I think that's what we're seeing. The Browns are trying to move from a team that expects to be in the playoffs to a team that is in that elite level in the conference.
And you know what? Right now, where are they in the conference? Well, they're looking up at a team from Cincinnati, and I have joked on more than one occasion, is that, Cincinnati, a bunch of Cleveland wannabes. My gosh, their airport isn't even in Cincinnati, it's in Kentucky. However, they played good football this year, and look what the Browns did to them. I thought that was the watershed moment down in Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow and his troops proved that, you know what, we can get it done. And David, think about this. We all were chastised, not just us, when I say all, media people, fans, which, okay, I'll put on the back burner for now, but the quote-unquote folks who get paid to do this, it's like, how could they take a wide receiver and their first-round draft choice? Well, now we saw why they took a wide receiver. The offensive weapons were unbelievable for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and they're young, and they're going to be together for a while, so that's something that the Browns are going to have to deal with. Let's go to this. How did the season go wrong? Where did it go wrong? Why couldn't they get it back on the rails?
Well, number 1, and again, you cannot, point one finger. Quarterback play was not good. All right, I'm going to say that. Number 2, complimentary play with it was not good. It was, when I say complimentary play, catching the football was an aberration, all right? Especially when big catches were needed. I know these guys are fancy. Come on. And I know there's a tight end that everybody loves that I do not, that started celebrating a touchdown before he caught the football, and hence he dropped it. So those are 2 things there. But I'm going to say this too. As the season went on, the defense definitely picked it up, no matter how poorly they played early on. I mean, come on. We look at the Chargers game. Chargers receivers were catching footballs. If you took a 8x10 glossy, there was no Browns in the picture, okay? They improved. They improved in a hurry. But the bottom line, too, is play calling was abysmal. It lacked creativity. And what little gas they had to put the pedal to the metal in the first half, well, they did nothing in the second half to augment that or supplement that. Plus, I still say the best player on the team on offense is Nick Chubb, and I have him number 1 overall on the team. Miles right behind him. Why is he on the bench with 2 minutes left in the game? Why is he on the bench in situations like that? We know for a fact that he could when he touches the football at any time, he could take it to the house. injuries on the line. Every team has injuries, so you got to fight through them. And something else, David, we always talk about depth, and we went into the season saying, wow, offensive line is deep, defensive line is deep, and you can't have 8, $6-7 million guys on the offensive line, but you have to have 7 or 8 viable starters on that line. And you know what? They did not. And that was proven when James Hudson tried to go up against Watt, and that scheme was awful too. So, boy, everything goes. There's a lot of ingredients to the recipe for failure this year.